What is up, everyone? I'm Nova Vaughn, and let me tell you what's going on. Well, season 3 of Mandalorian just dropped the other day, and let me tell you what I thought of the episode. So, after the recap, we start off here with the armor doing something with Beskar, and it turns out that she has designed herself a helmet for someone. Now, we see a Mandalorian ceremony taking place, and so it's kind of cool to see all these different types of Mandalorians that are great that are out there, different colors. They're different. Each uniform designed for each individual. Now we see a young kid here, and at first you think that, oh, is this going to be a flashback to Din Djarin? But no, it's not a flashback. It was not. This was yeah, at current time on the Mandalorian. And so here we see that the armor herself is getting ready to make him an official Mandalorian, one of the children of the Watch here. And so, how this is kind of a neat looking ceremony that we get here. So, after she um, gets ready to induct him, we see this attack by this water monster that looks like a nothing but a crocodile, a big, ginormous crocodile. Now we see the Mandalorians here trying to fight off this beast, and it's not. They're not having success. They're trying everything in here, but this monster is very resilient. Then we see Din Djarin coming in, and he, with his blasters, takes care of the monster. And here we see none other than Din and Grogu. Now, Din comes out and he's trying to talk to the armorer, but she's still saying to him that he's a Mandalore no more. He needs to go to the waters on Mandalore and atone for his sin because he took his helmet off. But he found a nice information that he's presenting to the armor. So she's saying, "Okay, go ahead, see what you can do." And he says, "I'm going to prove to you that I am a Mandalorian." Now, Din and Grogu take off. They're in hyperspace. Now, I have to admit that this scene here, when Grogu was looking at the hyperspace, I thought he was going to get another flashback to Order 66. And I'm pretty sure we will get that, but that did not happen in this episode. But what instead Grogu sees is nothing but these space whales called Purgles. And this is great because this was a callback to the Rebels when Ezra Bridger used them to help defeat Thrawn, and they went off into the unknown regions. Now, Din and Grogu approach the planet on Navarro, and they see the statue of IG-11. Here, Grief Karga meets up with Din, and they have a little discussion in Grief Karga's office. Now, Grief Karga wants Din Djarin to stay on Navarro, and he's even offering him some nice land in the system, but Din has other ideas. He has some other things. Now this conversation. Now here we see also Grogu also using the Force and doing the spinning trick in the wheels, and he's also grabbing those orange-looking M&Ms. Using he's using the Force, so his Force abilities are getting a little bit better. But this meeting gets interrupted by his droid saying that there are some pirates out there. Now, this is being led by the pirate known as Vane. They want to go into their old establishment that used to be a bar, but now it's a school, and Grief Karga is not having anything to do with it. He's saying, "Come to my office, let's do this." And then, of course, we see them do a little standoff, little showdown, and Grief wins. He shoots um, the gun off of Vane's hand. Now the other pirates do try to step in to shoot Grief Karga, but of course Din Djarin fights them off as well. So they take all the pirates down, but they let Vane released. It was here at this time where we finally get the explanation of Cara Dune, played by the former Disney Lucasfilm actress Gina Carano, which to me was an unjust firing. But that being said, we see that she went off on a special assignment, and that she got a different job, and so Grief Karga is offering Din Djarin the job of being the marshal. And again, Din Djarin is refusing this. Instead, Din Djarin wants to get what's left of IG-11 and repair him, and so he can to help him assist with Grogu. Unfortunately, they get part of him put together. He's functional, but he's his old IG-11 when he was the bounty, and when he tried to take out Grogu in the very first episode. But that did not happen. Uh, they try to fight him off. Grief Karga's droid dumps a statue on top of IG-11, and and that's when IG-11 ceases to function. So they take IG-11 to Baba Frick and his fellow species, and they try to see if he can help fix IG-11. Now, I can't remember. Try to help me out in the comment, please. If this species are these Anzellans or something like that. I can't remember their species, but all I know is that's Babu Frick from the Rise of Skywalker. So Din Djarin takes off. He's he's telling Grogu how to operate the control systems, how to fire, how to detect enemies that come upon him. And lo and behold, there are some enemies that come upon him. It's the pirates led by Vane once again. Now they're taking these through these meteor showers, and now this was an awesome callback because this takes us back to a couple of movies. We got The Empire Strikes Back when Han, Leia, and them were trying to get away from the Imperial ships through the asteroid fields, and then we get from Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan Kenobi getting chased by Jango Fett. So this was a nice little callback, and this was a space battle that I really enjoyed watching. Then they come upon the main ship that is led by Gorian Shard. And yet he says, "You're trapped. You might as well surrender. Get on board, and I will take care of you." But Din Djarin himself, he says, "Never trust a pirate." He says that to Grogu. He flips the switch on there, and he zips on out from their range. Next, we see that they arrive on this planet called Kalevala, which is another planet in the Mandalorian system. Here, he is approaching a Mandalorian castle, and this is a nice callback. If you've ever watched the Clone Wars, that these were these were some of the buildings that were used by the Mandalorians, especially. I believe it was Bo-Katan's sister. Oh boy, Obi-Wan's lover. Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh well. But this was a nice callback of the Clone Wars. So here, Din meets up with Bo-Katan, asks him where she's been, what she's been doing. She said that when she came back without the dark saber, her followers left her and they abandoned her. Now, Din tells her that he wants to go to Mandalore to uh, do his ritual so that he can uh, become eligible to be a Mandalorian according to the armorer's eyes. Now, Bo-Katan here, she's telling him that it's useless. This is all superstition. She said that your clan gave up on the Mandalores long before the Mandalorian purge. Now, Din still wants to go to Mandalore. He asked go, if he wants, if Bo-Katan to go with him, but she refuses. So Din walks off. He gets away from there, and that's when it ends. So that's what basically happened in this episode of The Mandalorian. What do you think? What were some of the things that you liked? Let me tell you what I thought of this episode. This was a very good start for the season. I hope it gets better. If I was to give it a rating out of 10, I would probably give it somewhere around a 7.5 or a 7.75. Not quite an 8, but it's definitely not a 7 in my opinion. Some of the things that I liked in there, the opening sequence with the Mandalorians fighting off the crocodile monster, uh, only to have Din Djarin come in to destroy it by firing missiles upon it. That was great. The other thing I really loved mostly was that space battle between Din Djarin and Vane with the pirates. That was great. I love the callbacks to the um, Attack of the Clones and Empire Strikes Back. Though it gave us finally we got to see a nice space battle in a Star Wars TV show. That was great. I didn't care too much for the explanation of Cara Dune, but hey, I think this was the best that they could do. At least they did not kill her character off screen. And so I'll give them points for that. But again, I think the explanation of her um, just was not, I didn't care for it personally. So let me know, what did you think of this episode? How did you, what did you, what would you give it? Um, can't wait to see more. Let's just see how this comes out, how this season plays out. So I want to say thank you guys for your watching this for and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. You guys will have the wonderful privilege and the wonderful honor of being called supernovas. If you subscribe to my channel, you are a supernova. This is Nova Vaughn saying thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. And remember, it's never too late for a new beginning in your life. So be positive, be cool, and you'll be all right.